Hello. Hello. Well, my name is Miriam, and I am Ailleagan Art, and this is some of my work behind me, and I'm excited to be part of this exhibition. Have I always painted abstract landscapes? Well, I've painted all kinds of different things. I enjoyed doing art at school, and I did art at a foundation year at Leith School of Art, and then I stopped doing art for a while, and I've really come back into it in the last sort of 10 years or so, and I think my stuff has loosened up a lot. I used to be a lot more detailed in the things I was painting, but I think I find it much more relaxing and more natural to be more abstract, because yeah, you can focus more on like the emotions and the feeling of a place when you're there, and conveying that in your work and not being so tied up by the details. So yes, I think my stuff is becoming more abstract, and I'm quite enjoying that. Yeah. Well, I think I much prefer to paint or capture somewhere that I've been. I find it so much easier. I try when I really like to visit a place if I'm going to paint that place, and to have stayed there for a couple of nights, or just quite often I paint my surroundings where I live. I live rurally in Stirlingshire, but I also love visiting the islands, and I love when I stay on an island. I take loads of photographs, and I do quite a few sketches when I'm out and about, but really kind of loose sketches. But I tend to just spend quite a lot of time just like looking at what's around me and just being in the moment, and then to try and bring some of that into when I'm working. But I'll also have my photographs and a couple of my sketches as well. So it kind of comes from the inspiration comes from lots of different materials. But yes, I think it's more important to capture the memory and the feeling of a place, because that's what I'd want to convey. But also the things like the horizon line and like the shape of hills, and I think those things are also important because they're kind of lodged in people's memory, like the shape of the landscape itself. So yes, a bit of both. So how do I prepare? How do I get into the zone for making art? Well, I think sometimes you almost just like you're almost in a creative flow, and sometimes if I'm really not feeling it, I find it's not good to try and force that. But if I'm feeling like I've got like quite a few ideas that are sort of stacked up in my head, I think it's best just to try and go and I've got a space in Aberfoyle which I use, and I also have a wee studio in my garden. So to try and just get a bit of headspace, go down there and just try and get the ideas out as quickly as possible, and then I can always go back and work on like the finer details. But just some music, maybe taking some of the photographs and sketches I've got, and just trying to remember the feeling of the place or the experiences I have of the place I'm trying to paint. And sometimes it can just be like colours and emotions, or like a particular shape that I've got, and then it sort of it develops when I'm painting it. Yeah, the process is fairly loose, but it's best, I think, when you've got this sort of urge to paint, that you're able to just go and do it, because I find it's quite hard to start from a position of just not feeling particularly inspired. Best to go with it. Well, I think I really like, these are all sort of island seascapes. They were all like inspired from the holidays that I've been on. I just really like, I don't know, I like to be quite loose with the colours, and I like to be a bit experimental as well. So I literally am like sometimes just working out on the canvas like what I think is like what feels right. So sometimes I use a different colour palette, but like I really enjoy introducing, like doing quite a lot of maybe darker blues and purples, and then introducing a bit of gold and a bit of light, because I think when you're looking at when you're capturing a moment, quite often it's the contrast in the light that's the thing that captures you. So yeah, contrasting light and big open skies and seascapes they're very inspiring. So I think that's why the subject matter is what it is. Well, I became a full-time artist about 8 years ago, but I've been on a journey, as we're all on a journey. I was doing different jobs, and this is not what I trained to do, But after I had like my daughter, I really just wanted to do something that was more flexible. And also, I really love painting. I love art, and I hadn't done it for a while. And I think I'd always doubted that I would be able to make a living from it. I didn't think I'd be able to survive being an artist, and it's definitely been a journey. Like when I first started out, it was really quite hard, and it's still hard, but I wouldn't do anything else. I think that I really enjoy what I do, and I think I feel very lucky to be able to make a living doing what I'm doing. But I'm really grateful that I did the foundation year in art when I was really young, even though I took a pause there, but I think it gave me a good grounding in like trying different techniques, and I was able to go back to that. But yeah.